Hey, hey! It's time for the Cardies.
That's racist.
The Card. I didn't say the Spoonheads.
That's twice as racist.
Stop being. Nothing about Picard. All right. Welcome to Keeping Up with the Cardassians. This is Nick.
This is Rob.
This is Joe.
And it's official, folks. We're in the season 3, and the crowd goes mild. Woo!
This is where it gets good, right?
Star Trek The Next Generation Season 3. We are continuing on with our reviews. 2 episodes to review today. Evolution and the Ensigns of Command. But before we dive into those 2 episodes, we want to talk to you about the world. We want to talk to you about things we saw, experiences we had, those moments where we saw fleeting glimpses of perfection.
What are you trying to flesh out your sermon on air?
I'm working at it. I'm doing my best. No, we're going to talk on pop culture. That's what we're going to talk about.
It's like when a comedian, a high level comedian, stops into the clubs and they're
their notebook.
Yeah, they're working through material.
All right. Oh my gosh. There's some good stuff in pop culture that's happened over this past week. I mean, they released the trailer for the new Captain America movie, which we're going to do a small reaction video to after this. We're going to record it. We're going to react to it.
And it'll come out before this.
So it'll be on our YouTube channel. So we're going to do that. But, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff that's coming up. So, for instance, this is on Monday, which means Twisters comes out on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. I want to see it, and it's got Glen Powell in it. And the question is he attractive or not? That's a big debate we were just having. So
Glen Powell is an attractive man. End of debate.
He is an attractive man.
Oddly, though, the females that we were debating with said no, except for neck down.
Yeah, well, I mean, neck down, it's not debatable, right?
Is it debatable?
He kind of looks like, Glen Powell kind of looks like Justin Hartley.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. You're blind.
Oh my gosh, he's a good-looking man, though.
Yeah, so he's got the features. It's just he has the jawline, he has the build, right? He has the head, the look. It's just his facial features,
he's got the touch.
They're just
he's got the touch.
They're just squinched in too much.
I don't view that. I think it's not that they're squinched in. I think it's that they're narrow.
He has a very narrow nose. He has very narrow eyes.
Yeah, I mean.
But he's got every. Okay, although it's funny that we brought him up this week because I just watched The Hitman, which is on believe
Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Yes.
It's him and
Adria
Arjana.
Nailed it. Whew. I got to do that. I never get to do that.
First of all, if we're talking who's more attractive, she is.
Then Glen Powell?
Yes. But he's an attractive man, except in that movie, his hair is awful.
Define awful.
Nick, pull up a picture from The Hitman.
I will in a second, but
wasn't he playing characters though?
Oh, come on.
He does, but he has he kind of has long hair, but it's
Hitman
2007 long hair. It's weird.
This is difficult.
Netflix. It's also 2 words.
Did I put? No, it's one. It is 2 words. Okay, that hair.
Okay, that's when he's playing one of the hitmen, which looks decent.
Okay, we're
there.
I mean, they can't really see what we're looking at.
It's terrible. It's like a Jeffrey Dahmer
That's
look.
probably on purpose, though.
I know, but his hair looks it takes away from his overall attractiveness.
It does. I would agree with that.
Bad hair does do that. Mm-hmm. Have you seen Jason Momoa without the long hair?
I just watched a little reel of the evolution of Jason Momoa's look from 1998.
Oh my gosh, I know where he's a teen heartthrob to this dirty man. He was
Dirty Smoke Show.
He's a dirty man though.
No,
he's leaned into that.
I wish he was
look.
dirty. If that band ever comes to town,
unbathed.
He does look unbathed.
Own it.
I'm not getting my innards dirtied up.
I'm sure he keeps it nice and fresh down there. Have you seen his girlfriend?
No.
Isn't it
that is his girlfriend?
Point in case.
That's true.
Lucky for the both of them, honestly.
I know that's
good for them. You know what? Power couple.
That's close to I want to see a Jason Momoa and Anna de Armas child. Or no, Gal Gadot it was.
Gal Gadot, yeah. Gal Gadot.
I would give The Hitman 7 though.
Okay.
It was fun. It It was clearly a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
Like it just has that feel of like it doesn't feel like cinema.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know what I mean.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
But it was entertaining. It was funny. It had a good pace. They're both attractive. It has elements of
what you gonna do? Yeah,
I mean, it was fun. I would recommend it.
I have it on my list to watch, but that's very rare that I actually get around to watching things. The only thing that I'm up to date right now on is The Boys. That's it.
I don't watch The Boys.
Yeah,
I'm not on. Haven't touched this season yet.
There's a movie called The Bike Riders that I want to see.
right. That was the one at the theater. It's already on digital. On
Yeah,
demand.
you can rent or buy it on Apple Plus.
Where could you rent it at when it comes out on video?
Video exclusive. Sorry,
not Redbox.
Not Redbox, because Redbox is under bankrupt.
You want to know why? Video Exclusive drove them out of business.
Yes, they did. Good job,
Bam.
Video Exclusive, a sponsor of the Keeping Up with the Cardassians.
It's no
podcast.
coincidence that since they've been a sponsor, they have
drove
already drove
Redbox
Redbox out of business.
Just saying, it's not coincidence.
No.
Look, we've been known to kill celebrities, so maybe we killed a company.
We're killing companies
We're
now.
killing companies.
So
We're taking
if-
jobs away from people now.
No,
if-
we're not. Who works for Redbox?
If you
It's
don't want
probably-
to,
yeah, that's true.
like,
That's
have
true.
you ever seen anybody fill a Redbox?
No.
just
Who,
customers.
literally, who works for
I think
Redbox?
it's the Keebler elves actually coming in the middle of the
You know what
night.
it is?
Like,
I guarantee you, it's just like a side quest for Amazon drivers.
it could be
Yeah.
like an Uber, like they
Side
pick up
quest.
they pick up the contract and they're like, you got to pick up these movies
Yeah.
and put it in this box.
But to your point, if you're a business and you don't want us to mention you on the show to kill your business,
Yeah.
we're taking.
Cinnabon?
Oh, shut your
You
whore
talk
mouth.
about Cinnabon on this show.
But they're
Yeah, but in a good way. We haven't killed Bill Brown Ford. Think
Yeah.
Ford first.
Marty
Mark
Pearson.
Pearson.
Go see Bill Brown.
The people
Ford.
that don't sponsor us, that apparently we sponsor them.
Yeah. So I was actually at the news of that broke in the morning, right? And I shared the post with you guys. And then actually I was at Kroger later that day, and sure enough, the Redbox was still there, but it was completely turned off now. And
You have that effect on things.
Man,
I know I'm really good at that.
When the light
I
goes out at the Redbox.
I tried like rubbing the side of it. I tried to find the switch on it. I kept,
did you like put your
I kept
hand?
hitting the switch as hard as I could?
Did you put your hand in the slot and like hit the flap?
I was trying as hard as I could.
How many fingers did you use?
I went with the whole fist
The
at
whole
one point
hand?
because I was really
Wow.
trying to get it on, and it wasn't turning on.
Yeah,
I really
that is
tried.
rough.
That's rough.
I even tried external tools too. I did whatever I could. Turned out
Was it an automatic screwdriver?
Look, this isn't working for either of us. I'm gonna need to bring in reinforcements.
so the red box was down. The box was down. I could not get into the box.
It's not,
Couldn't do it.
that sounds like when the light goes out at Redbox. Sounds like a modern country song.
It does. It was
Oh,
almost
poor
as good as the one Rob shared with us earlier.
Oh yeah.
That thing's in my head and won't leave.
That's okay. It happens.
Poor Redbox.
So Redbox is under. Glen Powell is attractive. Twisters is coming, and I'm going to go see it the first week. And apparently Tom Cruise is in love with Twisters as well. He lost his frickin' mind when he saw it. Tom Cruise gets on my nerves, but he's really good at cinema. He knows cinema. He knows what people like.
Does he?
I mean, he used to.
What has he critiqued that he's been correct about? Besides his own film.
Oh, yeah, because he loved The Flash, didn't he?
That's just a rumor. There was never, ever, no one, people said that.
I'm not saying he's wrong about Twisters. I'm just saying, is there any evidence that he's a good judge of what is and isn't good cinema outside of the movies he's in? Because those are generally pretty good.
Him and Christopher McQuarrie went on a podcast called Light the Fuse, and he talked about his love of cinema and what he would want to see as someone who sat down in the seat, and that's what he tries to put in his movies. So he definitely loves cinema.
So is he looking for that? Is he critiquing that way for other films too?
I think he looks like if he wants to be. The impression I got is he wants to be entertained. By whatever it is.
I would assume Twisters is going to be entertaining.
I would hope so.
Whether or not it's good or whether or not it is good, I would bet money that it's going to be entertaining nonetheless.
I would hope so, because the first one, it wasn't great, but it definitely had entertaining parts.
It was memorable.
It had Bill Paxton, for the love of God, right? Or
Did
Bill
you
Pullman.
just say the
Bill
original
Pullman.
Twister wasn't that good?
It wasn't great.
No,
Come on.
it had Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Dude,
Bill Paxton.
the original Twister is perfection.
You're
It is
gonna,
a good movie.
you're
was-
gonna
it was
use the
good.
word perfection.
It wasn't
for the
perfect.
type of movie it was. Yes, it was.
It wasn't
knew
perfect.
What it was.
It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't. It was good.
It was a
I
popcorn.
said it wasn't great, implying that it was good.
It had Philip Seymour Hoffman in there, man.
Yeah.
I don't care.
He's great.
I really don't.
But it also
care
had
about you.
who's the
There's some long
female
Came
lead? Who was that?
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt.
And I had such a crush on her at that era.
She's hit or miss for me.
I had such a crush on her back then in the Twister day.
Big Mad About You fan?
I did actually. I did love me some Helen Hunt. Oh my gosh, yes. She was as good as it gets.
As good as it gets was that's a perfect movie.
What's the movie? She was in a movie with Kevin Spacey. Pay It Forward. Good in that one too. That's not Helen Hunt, is it? Yes, it is. Pay It Forward. Yes, it is. It's definitely Helen Hunt.
It's Helen Hunt.
Yes, it is. Haley Joel Osment, Kevin Spacey. Yes. I love that movie.
As good as it gets is phenomenal. It's a fantastic film.
Yes, as good as it gets is really good. Yeah. Good films. So anyways, Twister is a great movie. 734-494-0980. Please call in. Send us your text. Tell Rob he's wrong. Please. I would appreciate it.
Or tell me I'm right.
You're not, though.
And to go back to Philip Seymour Hoffman, using him as a reference, just watch Along Came Powell and try to ever mention his name.
Or he's a basketball, like serious basketball. Well, he plays basketball. He's terrible at it.
You don't like him in that movie?
No.
He's made to be a dumb character in that one.
Philip Seymour Hoffman was a fantastic actor.
If not, yes.
Yeah,
one of the best of our generation.
I'd like to give you guys a hard time and reference Along Came Powell.
I mean, that's not a bad idea. Like, if you want to reference bad movies he did, that's not a bad one.
He was great in...
no, it was a bad one, actually.
Along Came Polly wasn't bad.
I can't necessarily agree with you on everything. I have to fight back.
know.
He did a lot of good
The basketball scene is hilarious.
Is
though.
it almost famous? Like, listen to some of these movies that
Son of
Philip
a
Seymour
Woman was
Hoffman was
so
in.
good.
Twister, Capote, which is a big one, right? Mission Impossible 3, I know you liked. He was in The Hunger Games.
Actually, one of my least favorite Mission Impossibles.
Moneyball, Son of a Woman, Boogie Nights, Magnolia, The Big Lebowski, Almost Famous. Patch Adams was a big one for him. I'm kind of working my way through the list here. I'm working as quick as I can. That's what she said.
He was in Son of a Woman.
I did mention Son of a Woman. He was in The Leap of Faith. That was a good one from back in the Broadcast News. He was in 1987. I did not know that.
Wow.
Huh. I haven't seen that movie in a very long time.
I like
though.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I do too. Good actor. So, continuing in our world of cinema, they unveiled.
Nailed it.
Unveiled.
Infinitesimal, infinitesimal.
Are you having a stroke?
No, my question is how is it actually pronounced?
The first one you said.
Infinitesimal.
It's not.
No,
actually.
wait.
It's actually infinitesimal. Infinitesimal.
No.
It is.
No,
Even
that's
if it
not
is,
right.
it's wrong.
I was on a part of a Facebook argument about it.
I'm not
and
taking.
I don't agree with it either.
I'm not taking.
I think it's
language
bullcrap.
advice from
I think
you.
it's bullcrap. Don't get me wrong. I think it's bullcrap, but that's what it was. So, unveiled. James Gunn unveiled the new logo for the Superman movie.
I saw that.
And it's the classic S logo, and it really just warms my heart. It warms my heart.
Infinitesimal.
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I know. I agree.
Here's the thing about when he unveiled it, is the John Williams score, too.
Did he really? Are they going to use it, you think?
I don't think so, but
They probably will in some shape.
they might
or form.
flirt with it, but I like that he actually played it. I would like to. I still love the Man of Steel.
Do you think, though, here's my thing about that. Every new iteration of the superhero should have their own new theme attached to it. It's always weird to me when they try to use an old superhero theme. Like when they tried to use Danny Elfman's score in Justice League for Batman, when that came up, I'm like, no, that's disgusting. In the Joss Whedon cut of Batman or Justice League.
I thought it was cute because they just flirted with it. It was there.
But it doesn't fit that Batman.
It's the Josh Whedon one.
Can you imagine? Yeah, could you imagine playing the Dark Knight Rises or the Dark Knight Batman motifs for Batman versus Superman?
Is it now? What does it have to do with the actor playing or the director?
The tone.
The tone. I think the tone of the character.
I actually
right?
think that the Dark Knight Rises or the Dark Knight series
wouldn't
be far off from Batman.
But what?
That Batman.
No, it wouldn't be.
What makes you decide that it has to change? Is it?
It's the tone. It's the tone of the character for me. So, like for instance, when they used the John Williams score Superman at the end of Shazam, or what was it, Black Adam, when Henry Cavill came out as Superman, that didn't feel right. When and he appears, didn't feel right. That's not his score. That's attached to.
That's like kicking the balls to Hans Zimmer.
That's Christopher Reeves, baby. Yeah. That's Christopher Reeves Batman. It's a very different, or Superman. It's a very different Superman.
I think the tone goes with it, and that tone of that Superman to that point was not John Williams.
Right.
What if it's the same composer?
Well, and that was the problem that they did
Do they have
with
artistic
Batman versus Superman, because it was still Hans Zimmer, and he actually brought in Junkie XL to do the Batman theme because he's like, I already did Batman, I can't do a whole new theme.
And to Joe's point, Danny Elfman did the original Batman theme,
and then came on in Justice League.
Yeah.
So he brought back his theme.
Yes.
He used his stuff instead of using
probably a
his stuff.
request.
Well,
I mean, he did Batman 89 and he did the animated series, so
That's true.
those are
Dude, speaking of that, I was thumbing through Hulu, or who is it? Amazon Prime, and it said Batman Cape Crusader. Watch first episode. I'm like, oh shit! So I clicked on it. It was a goddamn trailer.
They got you.
I was so pissed
fucking
off.
Jeff Bezos got
They
you again.
got you, Jeff Bezos.
I was ready to start it, watch 39 minutes or 29 minutes come on the screen, and then to text you guys immediately. But then I was like, but it literally said, watch full first episode.
Oh,
He got you.
So I had a little bit of a chub.
You got man.
And I blue balls.
I'm sorry.
Or bat balls.
I'm sorry to hear that, but
Black.
I think you had it coming.
Why?
You got
Because he had blue balls. So he had it coming.
I see what you did there now.
He had it coming.
Did you like when John Williams put in part of the Darth Vader, was it the March? Is it the March of the Empire? What is it in Anakin's theme in Episode 1?
Yeah, though, because it's the whole transition. Yeah. Anakin's theme where you can hear the just the undertones.
But it's so subtle. And Anakin's theme is one of his best pieces.
They do that with the Emperor's theme as well. There's something in there like it's the piece reversed or something like that. It's really, there's a lot of really cool stuff on that. Like, say what you will about Star Wars, man, but like you can never knock the music of John Williams.
No.
The newer trilogies were not my favorite by him that he did.
But his work, his Star Wars work is iconic. Like it's
exactly very much so, very much. But like, but some of this prequel work, like Duel of the Fates, the first one.
Do you like Duel of the Fates?
Oh yeah,
that's I've never that's
right,
a hype song. That is
That's good.
That is a hype song,
dude. It is the hypest of the hypes. Hype.
That is like a nerd hype song. That is.
It is. I'm gonna play some of it. Here we go. Get ready. Get pumped. But it's the actual fight scene, so it's gonna go. Oh yeah, and they unveil him
with the
that's
choir.
Such a good scene, and
it's the good scene in that movie.
And this is the first time they had fought a Sith. It's.
Oh, look at that!
And then he pulls out the lightsaber and it goes. Row.
When I was in the auditorium when that came out of the theater.
Is this the first time we see both sides of the lightsaber?
Yes. No. Yes. Yes, because he doesn't show it on the desert on Tatooine.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
There it is.
Boom! Boom!
The audience went nuts right there.
Oh my god!
For good reason. Right.
Every showing they went nuts.
Copyright. Got to turn it off.
Oh, it's we already busted.
I know.
Disney is coming after us.
Yeah. Duel of the
Fates. Disney.
So, I mean, he has a banger there. The second one, I think it's Across the Stars is the one he has, which is the love song between the two of them. And then the third one has Battle of the Heroes.
That's good stuff.
As someone who appreciates a good score,
it's good, absolutely
his
good stuff.
Work.
I mean, Battle of the Heroes is amazing. I think that's their final fight, right? Isn't it the fight between Anakin and...
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And then you can hear themes of like the like there's all these themes that kind of interweave throughout it. Across the Stars comes in there. The Empire theme comes in there. Oh, it's so good.
No, it's good stuff.
Just what he does, like so good. Oh, there it is.
What composers do is amazing. Like a good composer.
Yeah.
Man, it's just good stuff.
You were supposed to be peace, justice, security to my new empire. Your new empire? Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy.
It's a table read of
Liar.
episode 3.
If you're not with me, then you're
On
against me.
Patreon.
That's a one-man show.
Only a Sith deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try.
We have absolutely lost our audience.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
I know we're talking about Star Trek, and I just go on a riff about.
We're talking about Star Wars, actually. You are.
I know. You were my
We haven't got
brother,
to Star
Anakin.
Trek yet.
I loved you. I hate you. Oh, such a good
Speaking
scene.
of, my daughter was sitting in that chair earlier, and she read the Patreon list,
Uh-huh.
and she got to the one. I was like, "You're kidding me, right?"
Erotic movie scenes?
Yeah, recreate erotic movie scenes.
Sexy late night 1-900 call?
No, the one on top of that.
I know. Recreate erotic
She's like,
movie scenes.
"You're
Ghost.
What is that?" No, she's like, "Don't."
Why?
I don't know.
It's good stuff. Those are all top-notch ideas.
They're all great. Yeah, they're all great.
After we get through July and August, we'll get back on that.
We're in our bulking phase.
Yeah.
We're collecting ideas.
We could write it on the cruise.
If you want to see some of our previous tomfoolery, go to patreon.com/keeping up with the Cardassians. And you can see everything we've ever done for $2.
Yeah,
a month.
$2.
$2 a month is nothing.
The very thing you swore to destroy.
$5 if you really want to try to support our cruise habits.
Yes.
And you want to get us drunk on the cruise? Help us out.
So I plan on filming a lot for the cruise and editing together a video of our 8 days and then putting that on Patreon. So subscribe to our Patreon, $2 and $5 tiers.
That'll be a $80 tier.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that'll be on our whoever sponsors our Patreon cruise, right? Whoever sponsors the cruise.
Sure.
For the $1,500 tier.
I was trying to push the $500 tier, where you get absolutely nothing additional.
But we will give you something.
Yeah. Herpes.
Well, something
No,
for
you get
sure.
that the $5 tier.
So other news that's come up. So there's a couple other things that have come recently in the media. One of them is that there's going to be a new Independence Day movie in 2027.
A third one?
Yeah.
Is Will Smith in it?
I don't know.
Hard pass.
Didn't he die like off screen?
Oh, wait, hold on. Never mind. I was wrong about it. Illumination's Minions 3 is set for Independence Day 2027. Okay, that's a little bit better. Thank the Lord.
Do people really like Despicable Me and Minions? Like, are they really
The box office numbers say yes.
Still blows my mind.
They do.
Those are good kids movies, though.
True. That's true.
I mean, they're solid. They're solid kids movies.
That's true. I forget about those little
Minions
bastards.
are fun. They're
Yeah.
cute, funny. If you're a kid, like they know. Those are like the Bon Jovi of movies. Like, do they just know what they do? We're just gonna put out the same shit, and it's just
Nickelback. Gotcha.
yeah. They're the Nickelback of film. Like, we're just gonna put it out. We know our audience. We're gonna play to our audience.
Watch people get mad at me. Taylor Swift. Gotcha.
Isn't that Marvel movies lately, though?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. That's why Marvel people are
But
over Marvel.
maybe not the new Captain America.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
We're gonna have to watch that trailer.
We're gonna watch that trailer.
I wonder what we think about it.
I wonder what future us will think of it.
I don't know.
If I wanted to find out our thoughts, where would I go?
YouTube.
Definitely not on Twitter. You're not gonna find out anything on there except for the auto post when the episode becomes available.
Posted.
True.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
It counts.
In other Marvel news, they've unveiled the runtime for Deadpool versus Wolverine. How long do you think it'll be?
2 hours, 10 minutes.
Give me actual minutes because I'm not going to count.
Oh, hold on.
Seriously, 130 minutes.
130 minutes. Okay.
Jesus.
139 minutes.
128 minutes.
Oh!
Oh,
You went over.
By 2 minutes.
but that includes credits, so we're
Sorry.
really talking like 122, right?
Yeah, probably.
Sorry.
With how
Price
long?
is Right rules, man.
The price is wrong, bitch. Anyways.
Yeah.
So 128 minutes. I'm excited for that one. Man, 2 good movies coming up over the next 2 weeks. Twisters. I mean, I don't know good movies, but 2 good blockbusters. Like, see in the theater movies.
Here's the bit debate about Twisters that we had with Deadpool. Is that your theater that you like to go to?
Is that an IMAX?
Or is that IMAX? Because that's screen, though.
I don't know. There's some real good questions there that I got to think about.
Do both theaters have Dolby Atmos?
No.
Only Imagine Laurel Park Place has Dolby Atmos, and feel
for
like
Twisters, I'd rather have the sound be
of
pristine.
a tornado coming from behind.
The screens.
I would
it's very
agree.
big.
Actually, I would rather have Twisters for the sound, and Deadpool for the screen.
Okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Especially,
I'm just asking questions. I'm asking the important questions here.
You are. I appreciate that about you. I mean, at least someone does.
That's right.
Actually, I don't really appreciate it, but I'm sure a listener,
somebody does.
Maybe. I don't know.
They don't care.
No.
Yeah. So the next 2 weeks are going to be good movies, and I'm down for it.
Is that the end of the line for the good movies, or is there more after that? Because we ran them down a couple weeks ago. But
let me go to August movie releases for 2024.
Despicable Me 4 was on there.
Which
Twister, which already came out. Twisters. Deadpool.
Trap is supposed to come out, which is supposed to be a good movie, I guess. You got Alien Romulus, a Borderlands movie. They're releasing a Borderlands movie. I know I haven't even heard of that until just now. And then September is Beetlejuice.
That'll be good.
Speak No Evil, Transformers 1, Megalopolis, Wolves. October is Joker, Smile 2, Terrifier.
Ooh.
Venom 3. November is Gladiator 2, Wicked Part 1, Moana 2. December is The Lord of the Rings, The War of the Rohirrim. Oh, that's a cartoon. Kraven the Hunter, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Mufasa the Lion King, Nosferatu.
That's a good stretch from September through the end of the year.
Yeah, they're good.
Like
movies.
there's at least a movie a month.
Yeah, that's worth seeing. You know what? Like looking at this list, I'm gonna see. Well, not in the theaters, but there's quite a few. Those August movies, none of them I'll probably go see. Trap, Borderlands, Cuckoo, Alien Romulus. I'll see them when they come out on, film.
I won't see any of that ever. Starting September, though, there's at least one a month that I would love to see.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. September, Beetlejuice, for sure. Transformers 1, I'll check out, probably. Joker, I'll see that. And then Gladiator 2. Wicked Part 1, I'll check that out. Though I don't know why you need to do Part 1 and 2 for Wicked. Just make it one movie. Anyways, there's that.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you like movies, it should be, there's enough to keep you interested.
There should be.
Sounds like throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, Nick, on the internet, you asked a question the other day on your...
Oh, yeah.
I need you to ask that question here on this podcast.
And
to the people listening to our podcast.
Yeah. So my question that I asked on the Facebook was, what is a moment in film, cinema, television that was like a fist pump moment for you? When you saw it, you're like, yeah, and you just went freaking crazy. So what's a moment for you? Should I name off some of them that the people said?
Yeah, let's read a little feedback.
There's
from
some really good ones in here.
There really are.
So your wife put a really good one on here to start it off. I want her to know it was me, which that's from Game of Thrones. Olenna, where she's admitting to killing Joffrey. Great scene. She also mentioned the first time Wolverine popped his claws in X-Men. Someone said Endgame when Cap picked up Thor's hammer.
Amen.
And then I responded with like when he says Avengers Assemble. Someone said Hulk smash was a good one for them. Rudy when he gets to play. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. When Hawkeye goes on the helicopter and sees Trapper's final goodbye written out in stones on the helipad. Yeah, that's a good one, actually. And the Batman when he fires up the Batmobile.
Yeah, buddy.
Ted Lasso, the dart scene where he says barbecue sauce, which that's a good one. Friday Night Lights when East Dillon Lions won the state championship. Bender at the end of the Breakfast Club. Oh, don't you forget about me, where he's walking and he fist pumps in the air.
That's a bit on the nose, but
Luke Skywalker showing up in the Mandalorian was a good one. We got Secretariat crossing the finish line. Here's one, the end credit scene in Split where Bruce Willis answers a question about being Mr. Glass.
I was 100% with that one.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, dang.
This is a good one. A friend of mine, Kevin, who's also a big Star Trek fan. And Star Trek 09, when Nero has fired all the missiles in Spock, and he says, Captain, I've picked up another ship, and it warps in.
It was shot, and the music was beautiful for that scene.
We got Battlestar Galactica reboot when Pegasus arrives and saves Galactica. Then I listed the Adama maneuver after that. That was a fist pump moment. And then they said also when the Pegasus shows up again to save the Galactica from getting eliminated. Someone actually put watching the moon landing in 1969. That would actually be a fist bump moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gal Gadot in full Wonder Woman climbing the ladder, crossing no man's land.
That was I don't think I pumped my fist, but I was just struck.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
I was more
great
speechless.
Scene. That was a great scene.
Yes, it was.
Yes. Rob put target that explosion and fire. Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country. Batman trailer when he beats the living crap out of that guy.
The first time I saw that trailer, and I watched Batman beat
Who
the
are
crap out of that
you?
guy,
And he's like,
I was like, oh damn!
And he's like, who are you? I'm vengeance. Oh, that was good. Rocketeer. I may be a crook, but I'm a full-blooded American, and we don't work with no
2-bit Nazi.
No 2-bit Nazi. Cap and the Hammer. Cap showing up behind the train to help Wanda and Vision. Cap after the elevator scene. Yeah, when he beats everyone up in the elevator. Batman versus Superman. Batman in the warehouse scene. Yep.
Are all these people listeners?
No.
Fuck them.
Tombstone when Doc Holliday takes on Johnny Ringo. I'm your Huckleberry. That's a good one. Bill with a hot take here. Star Trek Insurrection.
I thought that was
Riker
brave.
says we're through running from these bastards, and he says I love that line. Then they ruin it by following up with the most ridiculous scene in all of Star Trek.
The joystick.
Yeah. And then
I'll see it.
Batman
eventually.
Begins. I swear to God, swear to me.
I love that scene too.
Yeah. Okay. There's more.
Joe, do you have anything that stands out to you? I know it's kind of on the spot.
Yeah, there's a couple. They're after like long monologue, like the long monologue scenes, and there's two of them. It's Jack Nicholson's speech in A Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth.
But that's the line. But that whole speech
leading up to
is unbelievable.
Yes, it is.
It's one of the greatest it's one of the greatest monologues in film history. And then the other one is, we previously mentioned this in the Seymour Hoffman discussion, is Al Pacino has a monologue at the end of Son of a Woman. Yeah. And it's just awesome. And then it's just a great scene, but the fist pump moment, I guess, would be when, spoiler alert, when they go congregate and they acquit Charlie, and the whole like auditorium erupts, and it's like, fuck yeah.
Yep.
Those are two of my favorite. Like, just awesome.
Very good. Yeah.
All of Top Gun.
Yeah.
The whole movie, you're just fist. Sir, can you put your arm down? I can't. I can't.
The volleyball scene.
Yeah. Another one I was thinking about was Newsroom, like his initial speech at the beginning where he's going on about America. Why is America the greatest country? And he goes on his speech and he's like,
Newsroom
so when you say it's the greatest, I don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, yeah.
I don't talk about Newsroom.
I know you don't, because you can't talk about it until after. But Newsroom had a lot of them where he's like the gotcha moments on when he's interviewing someone on air. And and you can feel when he gets them trapped in his web. Yeah. Oh. So good.
Won't do it, Joe. Sorry.
If Scrubs wasn't so god awful,
fist pump moment in Scrubs
when it's over, the last episode.
When when JD and Elliot became sex buddies.
Yeah, that's right.
And every time they were sex buddies, you. What
about you, Nick? Did you mention any?
Oh yeah, I mentioned.
Because we read, you posted a few. You had like a long
list.
I put I put the very last scene in Batman Begins where they're like, there's this guy committing all these crimes. He leaves a calling card and they flip the Joker card. I'm like, because I didn't expect that.
No.
Right? Like, you didn't think they were going to do that, and they did. It was such a great.
I think I'm with Batman Begins the same way Joe was with Top Gun, going the entire movie going, yeah.
Oh, and you know what's so funny, when Batman Begins came out for me, that whole movie I was fist pumping because because my mouth was so soured by Batman and Robin and Batman Forever. Batman Forever is not terrible.
There's guilty pleasures about that movie.
There's some good stuff in it, but like I'm like they ruined Batman for me. Like cinema's never going to be able to do it right again. And then I saw Batman Begins, and it just I had free tickets from it. I got them from Blockbuster, so I was there. Yeah, I know, right? And I saw it the night before it opened, and
I'm pretty sure
happy.
watching Batman Begins from the get-go, I had a full erection the entire time.
I mean, you do most things you do.
That movie, I think that's the stiffest I've ever been.
I got a question.
Yeah.
So this past week, I rearranged my living room.
Gotcha. Talk dirty. Yeah.
And I only had my like record player and 2 speakers. I had like a stereo setup, but I had my surround sound speakers downstairs just not being utilized. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put them upstairs. I have the space to do it. I can rearrange it perfectly. So I did. When you set up audio equipment, we're going to specifically for like surround sound. Do you have a go-to film scene or a film or
I have
a reference
for surround
piece?
sound? Yes, I do.
I have 2, and then I have a song as well.
Okay.
So the 2 is the opening scene is Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Because literally, if your system's set up the right way, you can hear the bullets coming around every angle. Second one is the Matrix scene where they walk into the place and it's just a gunfight in that lobby. Because it's the last thing, like the way the highs hit as the bullet casings hit the ground, and it just sounds so cool in a good surround sound. Third is a song by Korn called "Dead Bodies Everywhere."
Everywhere.
Because there's a scene, as long as it's the right setup, you can, when it goes that song, part of the summer goes, it creeps
towards
up
the end of it
behind you, and it's actually creepy. So if I'm setting it up for those 3 things.
That's towards the end of the song, if I recall. I'm trying to find it.
No, it's not towards it. It's towards more in the middle.
Yeah, you're right. It's more.
But it's at some point that it calms down, and then you just hear him go, and it, like the first time, I actually had to I rose my shoulders and was like, I had to look behind me because it actually caught me completely off guard.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So mine is this scene. You might know this one, Joe. Where
Dad, I think we've been tracked.
So you're not going to know what it is.
Put a homing device on our hull.
Let me skip ahead a little bit. We drop these things called seismic charges.
Seismic charges.
Give it a second.
Stand by.
It's Star Wars, dude. How did I not know what that is?
That. Ow! It's such a cool sound, and it travels all around the room.
Disney's going to kill us this episode.
Yeah, they are. But ow! Because it's the cool thing where there's no sound at first, and then it hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mine. What do you got?
Mine are, well, one, the storming of Normandy.
Absolutely.
In Saving Private Ryan. It's one of the most it's one of the greatest pieces of film for all the right and wrong reasons.
Yep.
It's gut-wrenching.
Yep.
But the sound is incredible.
It's impeccable.
It's unbelievable. And I always go to the opening scene of The Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah, in the garage.
So
the
robbery.
The robbery.
Oh, the bank robbery.
Yeah, because there's a lot of different sounds. There's the thud of there's a lot of low end, but there's a lot of high end. There's dialogue. I always go there.
Sometimes I do the opening scene of Blade as well. There's just a lot of chaos going there.
And then there's a Dark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
But there's an SA CD, a super audio CD. That it has it's remixed to 5.1.
You have super audio?
Most Blu-ray players will play super audio.
But you have some
CDs?
Yeah, it's super audio CDs.
Yeah, nice. I have maybe a dozen.
Nice. I have 2.
Which ones?
Hootie and the Blowfish, the first album.
Nice.
And Boyz II Men 2.
Okay. But there's a it's so immersive. It's probably the greatest way to hear that album. It's just so immersive.
Yep. You know, if I could find a Mariah Carey in SA CD, I would.
You know what the problem is?
What's that?
We're at 40 minutes and we haven't talked Star Trek.
Well,
All right, let's go to Star Trek.
So it's time to switch to Star Trek. But
now.
real quick, I want to add one other movie that would be good for surround sound: Jurassic Park, where the T-Rex is coming up on him for the
if
first
you want to go
time.
after your subwoofer, yeah.
Yeah.
Subwoofer, and the Matrix scene was listed on a Reddit poll.
I'm telling you,
that I saw.
the Matrix one is tits out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Interstellar, the wormhole scene. Oh my gosh, there's a whole article about best scenes for
Dude, Inception, all the gunplay.
This is why.
Taxi Driver. That's a weird one.
No.
Ooh, I own that on Blu-ray. That's a Taxi Driver is a good film.
It's a good film.
John Wick is on there. Pink Floyd, The Wall is on there. Star Trek, the original Star Trek. No, the reboot.
Yeah, the reboot would be pretty good.
Mad Max Fury Road. That would be a good one.
Ooh.
Okay. Anyways, we should move on to Star Trek.
Sure.
Shall we move on to Star Trek?
I heard this was a good season.
All right, we're on the Star Trek here. Joe heard it's a good season, so let's dive into it.
Yeah, let's continue reviewing this show despite all of the evidence laid out before us in seasons 1 and 2.
Evolution is our episode today. Dr. Paul Stubbs.
His name's Kelso, the rest of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Kelso's on the ship. He's the chief of medicine at Sacred Heart Hospital, and he's on the Enterprise. And he's got a big experiment he wants to run with a probe on a star that's going to blow up. The problem is, as they're getting ready to run this experiment, Wesley does an oopsie and spills his science experiment on the ground and accidentally creates a new life form that's like a micro, what did they
Nanites.
call it? Nanites. Yeah, a nanite life form. The nanite life form is tearing the ship apart. Dr. Kelso is like Dr. Kelso, and he's like, look, I hate all you guys. Just do my experiment. This is what I live for. And they're like, you are a bastard. You're a bastard, candy-coated bastard, which is what Dr. Cox refers to Kelso as multiple times.
It's too much scrubs.
Look, honestly.
God.
So then JD's science experiment, then JD's mom, Carla, is upset because they're not spending enough time together. And JD's supposed to be a kid, and she's upset. So then she works with him to get him into relationships. And finally, by the end of the episode, he's in a relationship with
His mom.
Some rando.
with JD and Elliot. He's in a relationship with Elliot. They're able to find the life form on the ship, and they transport it to a new life, and the doctor's experiment goes off.
I like that
without a
Dr. Cox Picard was like, I'd get into a lot more trouble than Wesley.
hitch. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You
For
know
real.
what? Don't do such a disservice to this episode by comparing it to Scrubs.
Okay.
Well, let's start here though.
New uniforms.
New uniforms.
How about that?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I like them.
They're
Yeah.
sharp, and I appreciate how they sprinkle the old uniforms in there. And I know that's budgetary reasons, like they couldn't afford to give everyone them, but it reflects that they're slowly changing over into the new uniform style.
Did you read how much those things cost each one?
How much?
$3,000
A uniform?
a uniform.
Oh my gosh!
So the main cast, the bridge cast, had the 3,000, and they were made of breathable wool,
Ew.
garbadine,
Ew.
and everybody else had to deal with the other ones until they kind of can make more.
Ugh.
I mean, at $3,000 a pop, you gotta start from the top.
$3,000 a pop.
These uniforms look more professional, though.
Yes, absolutely
look
they do.
They
Yeah.
fit they fit a little bit more loose on them. They seem more realistic as to what Starfleet officers would wear. I don't know. They just
You
wear
don't
better.
see Riker's, what do they call it, moose knuckle?
And this is where we start
I
seeing
know.
Picard's famous
Bummer.
uniform.
Oh, yeah, the Picard maneuver.
The Picard maneuver. He pulls down his uniform a little bit, where he's standing at his desk talking to Dr. Crusher, who's just back.
I appreciate it. They're like, Dr. Crusher's back. No big deal.
She's like, I just
I
spent
know
a
I
year at
missed a-
Starfleet.
I know.
I know I've missed a year of your life, Wesley, and it's traumatized you.
I like how she has the audacity to be like, we don't spend enough time. But you left for a year.
Left.
You ducked out for a
left.
year and you come back
I
and
don't
you're like, we
how
don't
you're
spend
not a
enough
kid.
time
Yeah, we don't
together.
spend enough, you're not
Well,
enough of a kid.
He asked to stay, and she let him.
Okay, he asked to stay, and she still left.
Yeah, you can't.
You're the parent.
don't get to
Take your
complain
kid
about
with you.
not spending time.
How many times have I said this? F them kids.
He's not a kid anymore, though.
He's
He was
17.
So he was 15 when she left. Then are we to assume 15 or 16?
16.
Give or
16.
take.
He looked like he was like 15 the last.
Yeah, he
season.
did.
He looks like 17 this season, though. Right?
Yeah, it's
There
17,
was,
18.
there was a tight shot when he was like sleeping on his science experiment.
Yeah.
Where you could see like he had like a almost
Acne.
like a breakout, like
Yeah.
an acne. I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, either that's high def isn't
Puberty.
doing him favors, or
Puberty.
Yep. Puberty.
Puberty.
Was he wearing a lot of makeup this episode?
I'm gonna guess so. Well, it's
But
TV. They all
I know,
do.
but he just he looked like he was wearing a lot of eyeshadow.
They
and makeup.
they all look better. They looked crisper. The
Yeah.
film was better. The Enterprise models were significantly
Oh,
better.
the models look great.
and the
Oh my
shots,
gosh.
because like that, even that initial shot of
That
how it's-
first shot?
yeah,
Yeah.
looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
Very colorful. The model looked great.
Like right off the bat, you could tell it was just a different feel, just a
Yeah.
total different feel.
Yeah.
Thank God for Michael Piller.
You can tell it's almost. So they found out who the characters were the last season. They discovered who they were, and
Ish.
now they're leaning into it more this season. Picard is likable this episode. He's more likable, I think, in the next episode to me. I like the bits about the transporter
Yeah.
were great in
Yeah.
the next episode. I enjoyed that a lot. But he's more enjoyable and relatable. They've made him more of a central character, actually. Like the episodes revolve around him now, as opposed to him coming in and out.
Yeah, he
of the
kind of
set
centers
pieces.
it.
Yeah, exactly. He's become the anchor of the show, where he wasn't in the first two. I don't really think they were trying to figure out who the anchor would be, and I think they were leaning on Riker to be the anchor at one point in time. I don't. Maybe that's just me.
I think in seasons 1 and 2, they're almost equally like central figures.
Yeah. Okay. I could get that.
Whereas this episode, it definitely seemed like Picard was the guy,
Yeah.
and that it was
Yes.
that was his crew.
And he was very much trusted and adored by his crew. They all like him.
Yeah.
Crusher coming to talk with him about her son like that, and him actually being able to relate to her and not being like, I hate kids, I can't talk to you about kids, but like really have a heart to heart with a member of his crew was a really good scene. They did a good job with their relationship as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like they didn't miss any time. With
Isn't it
those
nice
two.
to have Crusher back?
It is
Oh my
so
gosh,
good
it's
to have
so
Crusher
nice
back.
to have her.
I would just like to say thank you to Michael Piller or whoever made her come back. I think there was a rumor that even like Patrick Stewart called her to see if they. Thank God.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad she's back. It makes
That was
such
my
a
fist pound moment actually this week. I was like, yes.
Well, and it doesn't hurt that Gates McFadden is a real. She really embodies that role well. She's a great actress. She has natural chemistry and charisma, and it's just she's perfect for it.
She's a beaut, Clark.
She's a beaut. You know, she's from Akron, Ohio, though.
She's from Ohio.
She sucks.
She's from Ohio, guys. I'm sorry. 75 years young, though. Good for her.
Hopefully,
Good
she
for
doesn't
her.
live in Akron anymore.
Yeah,
I don't know if she does. I don't know
she
where she
get out of
lives.
Ohio. She did.
Akron's like the Flint of Ohio.
Isn't that where
So
LeBron's from?
Yeah.
Explains a lot.
Does.
LeBron and Gates McFadden.
Who's the GOAT?
Gates.
I mean, I'm not going to argue with that. I mean,
I bet
she's-
you Gates McFadden would make a WNBA roster today.
Oh my gosh. It is okay. That's a whole other topic I don't want to get into right now.
How
but
good do you think the average? What size is our teams in the WNBA?
They're a lot taller than you think.
they're
No,
probably
not
close.
size. Like what? Like how many?
It's gonna be 12, right? Just like an
Okay.
NBA team. I would assume so.
How good do you think the average 12th girl is?
They could beat any of us.
Yeah,
any
yeah.
day.
Oh, I'm not
They'd-
saying they could.
they'd
I
embarrass us.
But I want to.
They could beat high school kids. They'd be good. The best of them could match up with an NBA player, maybe. But there's a difference in physicality too, right?
yeah.
You have to acknowledge that. The difference in physicality, the difference in the size of the ball is different.
And
They got a
the-
smaller ball.
Would the NBA player be on load management during that?
I know, right? I can't play.
Would any single WNBA player make the Pistons roster?
Yes,
The
all
Pistons?
of them.
Probably the Pistons. They suck.
No, well, you don't even have to say the Pistons roster. Could WNBA players make it in the NBA? I think they could. I think you'd see a lot more point guards, obviously.
See, I
Probably more bench roles.
I think it's just a slower game that's played closer to the court than it is in
You don't think they could adjust? I think they could.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think you could take
I don't-
an NBA player and put them in the WNBA because of the physical size.
Lawsuits.
Oh,
difference.
they'd average 80 points a game.
Dikembe Mutombo in his prime in the WNBA.
Shaq.
Just once, I want to see someone like dunk in the WNBA. I know it's happened a few times, but I just enough of the layups. What is this?
So they were showing.
Just throw one down.
So we're in a little bit of we're off the topic a little bit, but I kind of want to lean into this just for a second because I saw a highlight reel. They were talking about how Caitlin Clark is almost like at the top of the league for turnovers, right? And they're like, here is why. And they were showing clips of her, like,
because she's throwing to people with brick hands.
Yeah, she's throwing these amazing passes behind the back stuff, like really great passes, and the other players are like.
Well, it's because it's because of the drop in talent level. Like, put someone who played maybe like high school ball or college ball, and play them put them at like the YMCA.
Yeah,
they're gonna make passes, and like your average dad, average dad isn't gonna be able to handle. It's
right. But there's a reason why in Iowa they were able to catch the passes because they weren't used to her talent. They became used to her. They were prepared for it.
She played, 4 or 5
years
there?
4 or 5 years there, yeah. And now she's there, and she's kind of like, she's scoring like 17 a game, like 9 assists, a couple rebounds or whatever. She's having a great season, actually.
Did you see the fan voting? Did you see the voting numbers for the All-Star game?
Yeah, she's up there.
Well, no, the top getter was like, I forget her name.
Is it the other rookie, Angel Reese?
No, last year. Last year, the top getter had like 95,000 votes. This year, I think Caitlin Clark is the number one with like almost 800,000 votes.
Well, and now they're averaging their games are averaging like 15,000 fans a game, whereas last season it was like 4,000. In any arena they go to, they sell out pretty much.
She's the
greatest.
This has to be easily the greatest rookie class. It's the greatest influx of talent and exposure that the WNBA has ever had.
Well, and it helps that Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are cocky and will yap and talk to each other, because Angel Reese, she needs a PR management firm, man, because she gets up and talks, and she's like, I think I'm one of the greatest players out there, and blah, blah, blah. Like let's let your results show. Like, don't judge yourself against her or whatever.
Like LeBron and Jordan.
But then there's arguments going, So now and unfortunately, I think race is kind of playing a role in this too. Unfortunately, where here's this white girl, so people are
obviously
gravitating towards her, and this black girl, so we think she's full of herself. But there's also an element of like in the they were interviewing on NBA Today or something like that, and a bunch of the hosts are like, oh, I think Angel Reese should be the all-star, even though she's less points, less rebounds, less this, less that, because her team has a better record, so she should win Rookie of the Year, not Caitlin Clark. It's like, since when was that the determining factor in Rookie of the Year? But there's also this whole it's kind of like how people are about Taylor Swift. They don't like to see someone be so incredibly successful, so they go out of their way to knock them down a little bit. And I think that's what's happening with Caitlin Clark a little bit. And what happened with Dr. Pulaski, which is why she's no longer Yeah.
No, she sucked. There's no knocking her down. She was terrible.
Here's the thing. They didn't even explain why she was not on the show anymore.
They hated her.
No,
she hated them.
No, but they didn't even try to write it in.
Who cares? If you had a choice, hey, Crusher wants to come back,
that would have been fun.
Do you think that already at the end of season 2, they knew she wasn't coming back? Right?
Yeah. Based on her performance in the finale.
But that was a terrible episode, though.
I think they do it depends when the contracts are up, so they wouldn't be able to even think about it until close to that. If she only signed a 1 year.
Did she initially?
I don't know, but I'm saying if she did.
Because they could have at least given her a write-off at the end of season 2, or season 3 could have picked up after her death or something like that.
Who cares?
Why write her off? She was awful.
Yeah.
Because you're still acknowledging she was part of that crew, and I think that's
important.
For a
year.
It doesn't matter. Tasha Yar was terrible, and we still gave her a write-off.
But she was an original.
A crap write-off.
She was an original.
Yeah, she's an OG.
Give her her due.
And she wasn't racist.
Hot take, Pulaski was in more episodes than Tasha Yar.
Hold on. She wasn't racist against Data. She banged Data.
Yes, she did.
See?
She's an equal opportunity banger.
Oh, wait, Tasha dies in the second season?
First season.
Okay, yeah.
7 episodes in or something like that, wasn't it?
Later than
no,
that.
it's late. It's very late.
Yeah, because she wanted off, right? Because
she wanted to get off.
Stop the ride. I want off.
She wanted
This
to do
show
other
sucks.
things. I know.
I went off.
This show's never going to be a big hit.
She didn't like what they did with her, or what they didn't do with her character.
Yeah, she thought she was going to be.
She
a bigger
probably
role.
came knocking on the Enterprise door, season 3. Like I was just
Hey
kidding,
guys, those uniforms are dope.
Yeah.
Can I come back?
Can I just try one on?
Yeah.
I'll use my old uniform. It's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever you need.
Look, it still fits.
I'll do whatever you want. Tasha, this is pathetic. Can you call me by my real name? No, Tasha, you're in uniform. Get
Tasha,
off
this
the
is a
set.
Wendy's.
You guys got better, a lot better. Can I come back, please?
This is a Wendy's. We're
Yeah.
going to have to ask you to leave.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
give me back my
Crusher?
Frosty.
Is that Dr. Crusher I see? Hi.
So
Welcome
Crusher,
back.
so Crusher is back. Okay, let's go really bad. Sorry, we got off topic with the WNBA. I'm sorry. Ken Jenkins as Paul Stubbs.
Kelso.
Was he? I didn't buy his character. I don't know. There was something about his character that didn't mesh well with me. And the
Interesting-
same thing with the second episode.
So the
too.
interesting thing about the Kelso character
yeah,
is that I didn't see it, but now that I read it, it makes sense. So Michael Perla actually wrote that character to be Wesley in 40 years if Wesley didn't get a life.
okay. This was supposed to be what Wesley could become.
Yeah, if he didn't.
that would have been great.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Yeah, like the guy should have been like, Wesley, when I was your age, blah, 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 blah. Like, I was the same way. Like, didn't really do that.
But now they said it, you can kind of see, I get
I
what
can
he's
see
going.
it now.
Yeah.
And now that's supposed to serve as a cautionary tale for Wesley to not make his career his everything.
Yep.
Ooh, I feel like if they would have written that a little,
see-
that a little bit more,
that could have been a better
obviously,
focus.
But
it
see,
could have been it could have been a nice. It could have been cool.
Maybe they didn't want to, though. Maybe they just want to see if people could figure it out on their own. I don't
No,
know.
Yeah.
I think I don't. They missed something.
It was a little too subtle.
Fair.
I
agree.
feel.
I agree. I think something a little more like a passing nod.
Maybe not like so much in your face, but something that you can be like, oh, I see what they're doing here.
Troy coming over, or when she was talking to Guinan, that's what you're going to end up in 40 years if you're not careful.
Yeah, or maybe a story or two from.
Yeah.
Well, and they also could have stood to cut out some of the plots. Like, think about all the plot lines that are going on in this. Dr. Crusher is upset that her son is alone. Wesley is upset that he possibly sabotaged the crew. The doctor is so obsessed with his mission that he doesn't care about the life of the crew. The nanites are becoming their own life form. I mean, right there, you have 4 storylines that could serve as primary storylines.
But, I mean, they had to do well, I guess they didn't have to do the Crusher thing this episode.
No, I think they did.
Yeah.
And I think they could have stuck with. I think they could have cut out the nanites altogether. I think.
Well, you needed that for Kelso.
No, you could have had this guy so focused on his career and so focused on everything else that he was just a jerk and ignoring everyone and like just singularly focused. You could have done that.
I agree with you that they didn't have to force the Crusher storyline this episode.
It could have been the second or third episode where she's seeing it more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can see that, but you have to at least acknowledge that she's back on this
But
one.
as you guys have said, they don't sort of lead those stories in this show, do they? They don't.
Not really.
They
No.
don't like.
There's no
seed the ground and then let it grow. And
there's
then,
no Rom
Yeah.
or Nog, and that's
Yeah, and there's some other weird stuff. Like you have Troy going in and talk to this doctor and she is a bad counselor, man. She cannot handle this guy. He just wipes the floor with her and she just walks away. She's like, okay, fine. You win.
She looked good though.
Always does. Always does. But I mean, that should not be how we sum up a counselor, right?
Why?
Yeah, that's a good point.
If she's bad at her job. Okay, let's not sum her up specifically on her looks. How was she at her job?
Not very good at it.
Oh,
today.
she looked good though.
Not very good at all.
You know what? I'm looking for the silver lining. I'm being an optimist. Okay.
Yeah. That being said, it feels different.
It does. It feels a little more mature.
Yes. A little more
sure of itself. I would honestly say
thought
professional.
out, professional, better story structure, even though it tried to weave a lot of things in there.
Yeah.
I like the episode. I like the scenes with Beverly and Guinan as well,
Mm-hmm.
and especially that last scene with Beverly like paying attention to the girl, and then by the end she's like, "Wait, what do you know about the girl?"
I know.
That was a good scene.
I think they did a good job giving a little bit to every character.
Yeah.
Like, first episode, season 3, you're going to see a little bit of everybody. I thought they did, and that's probably why they had so many, like, little storyline nuggets.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's nice to see the crew.
Yes.
Again.
It is.
Michael Pillar said, it felt like a B episode. I thought it worked out okay, but I didn't have an ending for it, and neither did Mike Wagner. There are some character scenes I'm very proud of. I didn't dislike it. I was proud of the episode, but I didn't think it quite came off.
Yeah. There were some things in there that, like for instance, I don't even think they needed that egg thing. That was silly. They didn't need that. They could have just focused on he's a doctor there to study it, and he needs to be right there for it.
Yeah.
That was a little weird to attach those because it took away from their time that they could have spent on this new creation. Like this idea that they would just let this nanite creature invade Data's body. Come on, that's a little bit of a stretch. They would not have done that.
Especially since they look like walking computer chips.
I know, right? That was a little
like, we're going to put this in our Android.
It was kind of a cool, like, so there's a cool concept in there to talk about, like getting beyond the review part, but this idea of the creation of new life and what does life look like, right? Does life have to live and breathe, drink water, breathe oxygen, present as a bipedal or whatever, you know what I mean? Or does life look like something different? And then here you have these nanite computers that have evolved and become something. They were a computer, but now they're sentient beings, right? So because they were created in a lab by Wesley 12 hours ago, do they deserve the same sort of rights as life that evolved over millions of years?
Cylons, anyone?
I know, right? Like that's kind of what I was thinking of. Like the same idea. Like how do
they're
you
like
determine
the Cylon seedlings.
They are, or early Borg, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But like it's the same kind of concept, right? How do you determine what life is, and how do you determine when it becomes life versus when it's still just a computer following its programming? And this is what we're going to be dealing with in our society in the next 30 years with AI. It's going to become so convincing that we're not going to be able to tell the signs between what's real and what's not. Like if it's real or not.
You know what we should talk about in episode 2 of Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey?
What is that?
AI abortion.
First of all,
it's coming.
I'm in.
Yeah.
It will never be an issue because for the right, they would argue that computers don't have souls, so who cares? It's a human creation. It's not a God. It's not a creation of God. I would argue that anything we create comes from God in the first place.
Babies are human creations. I don't know if they've taken like a biology class or anything. Do they know how they're made? Do we need to sit them down and have the birds and the bees talk?
I hear you. I see you. I hear you and I see you.
Hear more on episode 2 of Righty Tighty Lefty Loosey.
Lefty Loosey. Available exclusively on Patreon.
Coming in November. With our time schedule right now, it's going to be tough.
No, we're doing it right after this.
Screw you guys. I'm going home. Screw you guys. So I think that's a fascinating thing, though. Like, how do you determine what life is? Would you look at this thing that's destroying the Enterprise, and would you say we have to do whatever is in our power to save it? Or
that's
would
what Worf
you say
said.
It's us or them?
It's Worf. It was Worf's line.
I'm kind of on Worf's side here.
Well, yeah, if it's attacking you, then there's got to be a reaction.
And
right?
12 hours ago, it didn't exist, right? Like, it was created by
To
accident.
Joe's point, we're going to abort it.
Yeah, bye.
Or you could argue, hey, Wesley, you accidentally created this thing in the lab. Well, we're going to kill it off for now, but we're going to recreate it later on now. You know, like, I don't know if it's a self-evolving thing that, sorry, I'm yawning a lot right now, that creates itself as quickly as it does. Like, it's going to advance so far beyond them that it's a danger.
It already was. In a couple of days, hours, it had speech.
It's already like...
It was able to communicate.
And it's like, we don't need your help anymore. We're beyond
piss
you.
off.
But at the same point, I can understand how they're trying to respect that life, but you're being attacked essentially.
Yeah.
It's accidentally, or maybe they didn't know what they were doing.
Life or not, it's a threat.
It's a threat to you and the ship.
Yes.
To 1,100 people that are on this boat.
Right, and it'd be no different than if a Klingon ship boarded and started taking them deck by deck. They're going to go out there and they're going to either stun their enemy
if
or
we're
kill their enemy.
if we're on the Star Trek cruise and Klingons start the board, we're fighting.
Yeah, we are.
So let's take that analogy. Let's say you have a Klingon ship that's attacking the Enterprise, right? And it has however many 300 Klingons on it, right? But they're the last 300 Klingons
in the whole world
in existence.
Yeah.
But in order to completely eliminate them as a threat, you would have to kill them all.
You have to eliminate them as a threat.
What do you do? What would you do?
In some shape or form, we had this plot, not exactly, but I mean, with Worf and his lover, his Klingon lover, right? She just wanted to kill them all. Now, of course, the Klingons numbered in the billions, so I mean, it's different. But there is something to the idea of like it's either us or them.
You're directly under attack, and your survival depends on your ability to eliminate the threat.
Well, and for a Federation that's so obsessed with the Prime Directive and we don't interfere with the natural development. Okay, here's someone trying to kill you. And
that's a natural development.
That's a natural development. Survival of the fittest, man.
Well, it's also their natural development too at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know what you do there. I mean, I personally would have vaporized the computer lab. Like I would have just cleaned out the data banks.
Probably because they were PCs. They were an Apple. If they had an Apple logo on them, you would have saved them, or a Tesla logo.
Exactly.
You'd have saved them.
I'd have saved them for sure. Absolutely. Well, yeah, they helped me buy my cryptocurrency. Like I'm not going to let them go.
That's fun. That's what I imagine cryptocurrency looks like. Is the nanites just like
what does this even do? What is this? We don't even know, but apparently it's worth a lot.
Those are actual bitcoins just walking around.
They're called bitcoins because they're little bitty. Oh goodness! Anything else from this episode that we want to talk about, or shall we move on?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on. So now we are on to the Ensigns of Command. This episode is as follows. Basically, they get a contact from another alien species that says, "Hey, we're about to colonize this planet. We need you to get your people off because we have an agreement from 100 years ago as the Sheliak." And the Enterprise is like, we didn't even know people lived there. So they show up to the planet and they're like, oh, there's a bunch of radiation. We can't go on there. Send Data. Data goes there. A woman falls in love with him. And Data tries to convince them to leave. And they're like, no, we're not going anywhere because this is where we've been our whole life. And Data's like, I can't convince them to go. Finally, the woman's like, you need to use your superior technology. So he goes in there blasting. He starts shooting, blasting. And then they're like, yeah, we got to leave this planet. And meanwhile,
they lost their water, so yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Picard is like working with the Sheliak, and he basically uses the fine print in their terms in the agreement that no one ever reads. Terms of service that no one reads and clicks agree to. And he used it against the Sheliak, which would bought them 3 months to get the people evacuated from the planet. There you go.
It says here you have a 90-day return policy.
I know.
Yeah. Well, sir, it's actually day 90, like a minute before we close. I know, but you're still open.
You're still open.
So it counts.
Douchebag that walk into the video store at 11:58. Or you son of a bitch.
The people who would bring expired coupons and would insist that you take them. Oh gosh.
Oh, that's a hard line in the sand. That's a no.
That's always a no for me. But whenever I'm at CVS or Walgreens, I'm always stuck behind some lady who's arguing about her coupons not working because they're expired. Always.
Well, your first strike, you went to CVS.
That is on you.
Why? What's wrong with CVS?
The second strike, use the U-scan there.
Yeah.
This may have happened.
Do you even CVS, bro?
I actually Walgreens now because there's a Walgreens that's closer to me. I just go wherever is available. I don't care.
What are you getting at Walgreens?
Prescriptions, bro.
But you pay at the thing. You should never even go to the counter.
Sometimes you see a good deal, like the ice creams, buy one get one free. What am I going to do?
Wait.
What brand?
When you go back to the pharmacy, you walk and get it on the way to the pharmacy.
Pay it at the pharmacy.
As I'm walking out, I see the deal, man. I'm a singular focus when I'm in there. Can you just shut up? Let me feel my feelings.
We're trying to help you avoid.
No, you're not.
The lady that's clearly
you're shaming me.
We're trying to be making more efficient.
Yes. It sounds like you spend entirely too much time in line.
It feels that way sometimes. It feels that way. You know what, though? If the more I wait in line, the more jobs I save.
How?
Because I'm not going to self-scan, self-checkout.
I do enjoy how Target made those 10 items or less now, though.
I appreciate that as well. Which
they still haven't put any more, any higher number of cashiers at actual registers, though.
Nope.
They're never going to. There's going to be a day when there's no such thing as a cashier. Like, you're going to put the item in your cart, it's just going to register it. And then as you walk out of the store, it's going to go beep, and it's going to automatically
Aren't there
charge
like
it.
Amazon stores, Amazon grocery stores that are like that? You just
Very
scan
similar.
it.
You scan it
and
and you
it
put
just-
it in your cart.
Yeah, and you pay for it through Amazon.
Yeah, they're going to get that way.
You could do that at Kroger too, right there.
Yeah, they do have
Kroger.
Kroger.
Wait, where you don't have to go through a register?
Yeah.
You get your own scanner, and as
Yeah.
you go, you scan it.
What kind of bougie ass Krogers are you guys going to?
They all have.
Yeah, the
them.
one on 5 Mile has it. The one right here has it. The
Oh,
other
the
right
one
here
on
has
5 miles is a fucking nightmare.
It. Yeah, it is.
The lines in there are
The
always.
five and-
Always.
the
always-
5 in Farmington one.
Yeah.
No,
Always.
it's,
The
Oh my
worst.
God.
You ever
It's
want to talk to a
always-
friend of ours, Kim? She's been banned from that Kroger, and it's
Shut
a
up.
fun story.
Why?
I
Call her up. Get her on the show.
I know, right? Would it be fun?
Do it.
She told me that story.
I give
once.
this episode a 5.5. All right, we're good.
I think it had to do with the
Yeah,
lines.
call her
actually.
while we're talking.
No, I'm not going to do that right now.
Oh, God.
It's 11 o'clock at night.
We have the access to call people.
10:47.
It's close enough.
Text her, see if she's up.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, text her. You up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's appropriate. With a little picture of what do you sent the picture? What's the fruit?
Eggplant?
With an eggplant. You up? I was making a veggie run. I was curious if we need anything from the store. That would be me though, because I'm that sort of idiot, right?
And it's raining outside with these 3 little raindrops.
I'm so aloof with those sorts of things that I would.
You up? Eggplant. I was making eggplant parmesan. I had leftovers, and I wondered.
I wondered if you wanted that. Yeah, I was going to put it in the freezer, and I just was going to drop it off on the way. Ensigns of Command. We have not talked about.
So let's go planet first. Data on the planet.
Tatooine.
So it pretty much starts off where that chick throws that thing at him.
Yeah.
She had a hell of an arm.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
The thing she was far away. It had carry. You had to catch it with some force.
And how did she already know that there was an android on the planet too? That's what I want to know. For a
When there's only
population of
15,000 people.
15,000 is a lot of people, though.
I
That's
guess.
3 cruise ships. 3 cruise ships of people. I don't know any of the people on a cruise ship after a week. Like, I don't pay attention to them.
You see a lot of them over and over and over again.
By the end of the cruise, we'll know everybody,
We're gonna try.
and everybody will know us.
We'll know them in the brig.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, she did have an arm. Here's the part that didn't
She
work
too.
for me. That the leader of the village did not work for me.
It was too much.
His voice seemed
yeah.
off. Like the dub of the voice was off, or something was weird there. It didn't line up right.
Well, I'd almost say he's too stubborn, but then I look at our current politicians. I go, I could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you think about it, it's actually no. Because originally I was going to go in here and say he was just too much. There's no way he's going to react despite all that. But then I just thought about it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a second.
There are so many parallels
I was like, son of a bitch.
in current day
I buy
world
it.
politics,
Yeah.
like all the territorial stuff, like the Israel like not getting deep into it, but that's territorial. The Ukraine Russia stuff is territorial. Like there's so many things that are. I swear there was a couple lines in here that I was like, it's almost as if they pulled it directly from like now.
Yeah, it does feel that way a little bit, doesn't it? Like the sky is falling and they're just refusing to acknowledge it. Kind of reminds me of things like.
Well, Picard's like, civilized people will discuss, and they're like, click, bro.
Oh my gosh,
We got disconnected. Call him back.
Yeah.
We got disconnected. Sorry,
Call 'em back.
I lost my signal.
I always appreciate though where they bring in other alien species who are actually superior to the Federation, and the Federation kind of getting put in their place, like treated like they're peasants, basically. I appreciate that because they are a little uppity about themselves. They feel like they're superior to everyone, so it's nice when the Sheliak come in there and like, you guys suck.
I mean, if you have something called the Prime Directive,
Oh yes, we have evolved beyond petty conflicts and wanting money. We are better than that. We don't look at people based off of their race. Yeah, you do.
except the previous episode where we killed
Amen.
all the
Nice.
circuits,
all the
the nano circuits,
Circuits.
all the Bitcoin. We killed Bitcoin.
Do you think if they took over the whole ship, it would have been called Circuit City?
Our younger listeners have no idea what that is.
No, we don't have. We don't have younger listeners. I hope we don't have younger listeners.
That one we met at the Columbus.
We met some younger listeners.
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Columbus
and the kid from Sydney's class. That.
Shout out the kid.
Yeah. If you went to Plymouth Canton schools, sup?
It's good to hear from you.
Yeah.
We appreciate your listen.
734-494-0980. Text in.
Please do.
Let's embarrass my daughter, please.
Yeah.
Yes, that's one of my favorite pastimes. Actually,
Yes.
I like embarrassing your daughter. That's fun.
Yep.
Didn't that planet look a lot like a abandoned Tatooine set?
It did. It did actually. It did. And here's my thing.
I'm like, they're in Jabba's palace.
Can we talk about? I know
Circuit City
City is back. They exist. The name was bought, so you can buy stuff on there. It's like a Temu now, and like they just pull all the deals. So my thing is, Data's move to aggressively destroy their aqueduct is a pretty bold move, Cotton.
That was a great line too. Those were the stun settings. This is not. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, he kind of had to because there's really no option but to get these guys off the planet.
Yeah.
And
I know, but still,
I appreciate kind of him working through the progressions, though. It's like, hey, I want to talk to you. Hey, I want to be passive aggressive. Hey, I'm going to help you blow up your freaking colony.
well,
For someone who may or may not have any, that took a lot of balls.
and this idea that
He's got balls.
Well, the idea that you can be as reasonable as you want with someone, but it does not matter because when human emotion comes into play, it outdoes reason every single time. I think there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what this is about, right? Romanticism about living on their planet and not wanting to go anywhere. I don't know.
Again, to part of Rob's point, you see it in politics now. Reason has been abandoned in favor of how do I like this guy or I don't like this guy or girl or whoever.
How can I go to one extreme?
Yeah, they play for the wrong team, so it doesn't matter what the reason or anything like that does not hold water anymore.
No. See what you did there because he destroyed the aqueduct.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Righty tighty lefty loosey. Episode 2 coming soon.
We'll base it off this episode of Star Trek.
So funny. So I mentioned the funny moments in this one, and the transporter thing was one of my favorites. First of all, when they walk into the room and Riker immediately goes, "We're going to ask you to do something, and you're going to say it's impossible. You're not allowed to say that." And he's like, "I want you to be able to transport in this radiation, sir. That's and we'll get right to work on it."
Yeah.
And then they walk right out, and then. How's it going? Riker walks in, and they're like, "Oh, we're getting there," and he walks right back out. And then later, Picard does the same thing. And just walks right, just seeing how it's going. Okay, bye.
And I appreciate the ending where Geordi walks on the bridge. He's like, "Captain, I got good news. We can do it. It'll be about 15 years and whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna need 100 people working on it.
Yeah, around the clock." But
and he's like, "Never mind." And then Geordi's just like, "Okay." It's such a great This is where I see the nuggets of what Next Generation does become because they do those funny moments very well. They really do. And the second season was doing it a little bit more.
yeah, it's not like they sit there and they wait for someone to laugh. It's just they go in and do their job and get out and
right.
Yeah.
It's subtle.
This was a show that I think for good reasons took itself way too seriously the first season because they knew what they were following.
Oh, for sure.
So they took them.
It was almost out of necessity.
Yeah, they played it very careful.
Well, I think there's a lot of
Roddenberry.
Roddenberry and Maurice Hurley was he wanted to get away from TOS.
Yeah.
He wanted it to be serious, and these guys are evolved and all this stuff. And
Yeah.
when you got other hands in the pot, they're like, we can do that, but we could also do this at the same time.
Have a little fun doing it.
Right. Exactly.
And we could also have characters.
Right off the bat, though, the first 2 episodes, you can tell are different in tone.
We're going to
Yes.
be okay.
Like,
We're
yeah.
gonna, yeah.
Well, this is a real. You could let out a deep breath and go, okay, this is not going to be rough for 5 more.
But I mean,
It's gonna be okay.
even down to you can tell that they have more money to work with.
Yeah,
The
'cause the
sets
ratings
look
are-
the
a little-
second episode, $200,000 was cut out of the budget.
was cut out of the budget.
Yeah,
They
so they lost $200,000 before this episode even was filmed.
Wow.
what happened? Embezzling?
They just cut it. It doesn't say why. They just said the director said, you don't have $200,000 now. So they didn't really. Doesn't sound like they had the money.
Someone pissed somebody off.
Yeah.
Something
But they
happened.
still made it work though.
Yeah.
The set looked solid.
Set looked beautiful. Like some of the shots looked beautiful.
It was great. They did a good job with what they had.
Yeah.
It did look like downtown, like the
Mos Eisley?
Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
Sure did.
You wouldn't know.
No idea.
Although you would. You've seen
I've been to Disney World.
It would be hilarious.
you've seen all the Star Wars.
I'm telling
I've
you.
seen them all, but some of the newer ones.
We need to do like a watch, like a Cardassians watch Star Wars.
Why do you
with
hate
Rob.
me?
Because it would be so
And you
much
can call
fun
it just like that. Keep Cardassians watch Star Wars with Rob.
with Rob. And it'll be fun because you'll just hate.
Oh,
every
you
single
will
minute of it.
hate me for episode 1. You would hate me that entire movie.
Oh, episode 1 is terrible. I will not hate you. I will join in with you. It's garbage.
I think
episode 1
No.
and 2 are garbage.
Episode
There are thi-
1's
there-
good.
There are actually things I kind of appreciate, which is kind of like the political stuff.
Oh,
But otherwise, it's just terrible. Terrible.
honestly, the pod race is excellent sound.
Now this is pod racing.
But the pod race is an
Could they have
excellent sound.
okay,
Like it's
hold on.
phenomenal.
For surround
I'll,
sound.
I'll save it if we do that. So, but and we'll get through Star Trek before I say
And
how
the rise of Emperor Palpatine is done really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like him as this lovable figure.
Ensigns of Command. Can we stay focused for the love of God?
At the end of that movie where they're oh gosh, they do the after
See-
they have the victory and he holds up the ball. They play themes of the Empire's music in there when they
This
show
is why
Palpatine.
John Williams.
Then at the funeral of Padme after the third one, oh my
This is why we can't hold listeners because we don't stay on topic.
Evolution. Let's rate it.
Although
Are
I
we
bet-
done with the other one?
Are we? Sure. Why not?
I would imagine that we have a pretty good portion of our listeners have ADHD or something adjacent to it. So this is absolutely fine
And
for
we're a
our
pop culture
listeners.
show, so us jumping around to other things, we're like, "Oh, I like that too." It's
popcorn culture.
Yeah,
Pop,
exactly.
pop,
So like,
Yeah, exactly.
little something for everyone.
Squirrel. What the hell?
Potpourri. Potpourri, as they call it in Jeopardy when you get that category. Just could
yes.
be anything.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I don't
about-
remember now. I give up on you guys.
Who was? Do you think? I don't know.
Okay, there is
Like,
something to talk about. The woman being mad at Data that he couldn't be into her.
I don't think she was mad at him.
No, okay, mad's the wrong word. Like, really, there's nothing.
She was
There's
heart-
nothing. You can feel
No,
nothing for me.
You know what happened is word got around about Data.
Fully
I know.
functional.
So I read this book that was released by this woman, Tasha Yar. It was like,
It's called the Kama Sutra.
yeah, it's a follow
The
up.
Data Sutra.
Yeah, exactly.
You sure you can't be into me? Like it's
Yes. You don't have to be into me, but can you be into me?
She was really quick to kiss a robot, though.
Oh man, she was
real quick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She moved right in for that. She's like, "Oof, this is like a red box, and I can make this. I can make this work."
Well, I was trying to figure out watching like what brought her into like want to kiss a robot so quickly.
Did you see the men that were living there? They're
Yeah,
all bums.
They were
That's
all
true.
bums. They were all bums.
Well, I mean, I guess it's alien.
it wasn't like that one planet where they were on with the moose knuckle men.
Yeah.
the taped dongs.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when in doubt, tape. It's a
I think
smart move.
I just think that they were small
We
guys.
don't want to embarrass anybody. I get it.
Yeah, I know.
I just think they were small guys.
All of them?
Yeah, every single one of them.
That's
There was a lot of.
what are
men
the
on there.
chances?
I don't know. Maybe
Wasn't
they're,
it a casting call? It needs small dicked people.
And bro, you don't need
they're
to
like,
be a grower.
we're here.
You can be a grower and not a shower as well.
But they weren't growing.
Well, I mean, there was no reason for them to grow in that moment.
There was plenty of
have you s-
cleavage.
Yeah.
You don't think that they become so desensitized to that after a while?
No.
I think they do.
I have 42 years of evidence that say no.
You don't have 42 years of people walking around basically naked in front of you.
When was the advent of the internet?
But then it's not constant.
Late 90s?
It's not constant.
Have you seen a search history?
I was just let go from my job for this, guys. Okay. All right. Point taken.
Is there any kind of comment on Data's playing of the violin and how people are saying he's like, no, I'm just Data, and Picard's like, well, you had to kind of combine these two, and this is the persona you decided
Yeah.
to take.
Oh, I like the speech actually that he had with him at the beginning about what it means to be a commander, like to know your weaknesses,
Yeah.
but not reveal them.
Yeah, you got to have a
Then
poker
you'll-
face.
Then you'll start believing them, but then they will start, believing them as well, and just And the fact that he was there with Beverly for the concert, which is kind of hinting more at their relationship.
Yeah. God, it's nice to have Beverly back.
I know.
It is. I know it was just a small scene, but it mattered. Like, it was a good scene. The chemistry was there.
Yep.
Again, the evolution of Data. I like humanizing him.
Yeah.
Not too much, but a little bit here and there.
Yeah. It wasn't heavy, over the head.
Because I mean, the last scene where Picard says that it has feeling, that piece of music that he played has feeling, right? Mm-hmm. And it does, like, if music can be played very structurally and very sterile.
Yeah.
But good music has feeling.
Well, I agree.
And it's an element that you either get it or you don't.
Yeah, there's a song, Blackbird, that there's a guitar
The Beatles?
No, God, no. And there's a guitar solo where it feels like the guitar is crying. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, you listen to this guitar solo, it's by Alter Bridge, and it's just, you just go, wow. Because you get that emotion from the guitar.
Right.
And yeah, that's to your point. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a song by Dawes called A Little Bit of Everything, and there's a guitar solo after the second verse. It just mimics a verse, but the tone and the feeling that the guitar is being played with is it extracts more emotion than any of the verses. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like the first time I heard Blackbird, I was like, I didn't cry or anything, but I was taken aback.
Yeah. I love when music does that.
Yep, absolutely. I love it when it just punches you in the face and you just kind of go.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing to add for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing to add.
Lame.
Sometimes I don't. That's okay. I have a tendency, I go and listen to our episodes sometimes, and I fast forward. I'm like, oh, crap, it's my voice again. Fast forward, oh, crap, it's my voice again. So
that's what I do.
There are times where I really make it.
So here's the thing, though. If you fast forward past all your voice, the episodes would be like 2 minutes long.
I know, but that's why I try to shut
up.
That's why I try to shut. Sometimes I
Whereas,
just try to shut
if you
up.
listen to an hour-long show and you fast forward past my voice, still 58 minutes.
You should talk more. How's it going, Ron?
I'm eye candy. That's all I'm here for.
That's a good point. It's true. He's the Glen Powell of this podcast.
Oh, nice.
No.
Look at that. You see the poetry and tying the beginning of the episode?
Yes.
Look at that.
See what I did
Look
there?
at that. Look at that.
Mash them together like that. Just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So should we go into reviewing these episodes?
Yep.
Yes.
Evolution.
Do the evolution. What did I think of this episode?
Yeah, I want to try to look at what I rated some of the.
I want to
at
be
the last
objective.
season,
It's
but
tough now because they're better. They're
So
clearly better.
Should we critique? Are they
No,
on this?
because
Are we critiquing them on the same scale?
We have to. You have
Yeah.
to.
I'm gonna give this a 6.5.
I was somewhere right around.
I was actually leaning towards that as well.
All right, 3 6.5, and that's really big. That's a big rating. A 6.5.
Yeah,
Because normally, like 3 to me is
Sure.
a solid.
That's a solid. It's
When
a hard
I work
rating.
with a 3, I know it's good. I know it's good enough.
You got to work with it. Work with what you're given.
And
Sometimes a 3 will get the job done, I guess.
3 will absolutely get the job done. You know, sometimes you're kind of being like, when will this be over? Of course, when it's a 3.
I guess the viewer would reluctantly like rewatch a 3.
Well, and as soon as they're done with the 3, they immediately pull out the 6.5 that they keep in the drawer.
Well, it's the next episode.
The next episode that they have on physical media. You know, the 6.5 or 7.
That's why you always have physical media.
You always got to have physical media.
Yeah, right in your drawer, just in case to satisfy you, in case you have to deal
That's
with
what I
those
do. Right at night, I just open my drawer and pull out my favorite 4K Blu-ray.
Yeah, buddy.
Ensigns of Command.
I'm going to give this one a full point less, 5.5.
5.5? Yeah, I'm trying to think of what I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I'm probably there too, honestly, a 5.5.
I'd go 6.
6?
Because there's a lot of good data stuff here.
There was.
A lot of
There's
good data stuff.
There is.
And Picard at the end. I mean, where he's just like walking around his bridge.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll.
That is a great scene where he goes and like wipes the dust off of the Enterprise plaque.
Yeah, he just kind of goes, Do I answer the call? Do I not?
We didn't even talk about that. Was a good comedic scene.
It was again. It was subtle enough where you could tell Picard's frustration.
Yeah.
Good comedy episodes 1 and 2 so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got some good stuff. And then we got some I'm trying to remember what the next episodes are, but we're going to cover them anyway. So, I don't need to remember them off the top of my head right now. But we got two new episodes coming up next week as well.
Which we got to figure out when we're going to record because I'm out of town.
Yeah. Oh, team meeting. Yep.
Show meeting. We're off next week.
Show meeting. Well, but then I'm off. I'm gone the next week.
Show meeting. We're not back until September.
We're not.
We got to figure something out.
We'll figure somehow. We're good about figuring it out. That's why we're recording at
You're going
11
in the
o'clock
weekend?
at night on a Friday.
Yeah, we're leaving. I don't know when we're leaving, actually. I should have probably
Weeknight recording?
Going to probably have to be Wednesday.
Oh, wow. Wednesday?
Because I think Thursday we're leaving.
Can't record this Wednesday. Wow, we're really going to have to figure
Zoom?
Well, there's
Might
a small
be
chance we might not
Tuesday.
have an episode this week, so we'll let you know.
There's a non-zero chance this might be your last episode for a couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll let you know. We'll
Yeah.
keep you in the loop.
Joe
I
will
don't
post it on Twitter. Don't worry.
Yeah, Joe will let you know.
Yes, good. For all your Keeping Up with the Cardassians news, head to x.com/Keeping Up with the Cardassians.
But everyone, thanks for keeping up with us. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed these week's episodes. I know I did.
Not based on your ratings.
I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I still enjoyed it.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just goofing.
Yeah. But thanks for keeping up with us, everyone. Have a great rest of the week.
Don't tell me what to do.
Enjoy Twisters. We'll see you in September.
We'll see you when we see you.
We'll figure it out.
All right. Bye, all.